Hey everybody, God bless you. Pastor Jaime Loya here from Cross Church. Thank you so much for joining me. Today is a different kind of video. It's a promotional video. It's a special video where we're going to be talking about one of our premier conferences that we offer right here at Cross Church for the entire RGV. So if you're in the RGV, even outside of the RGV, I need you to pay close attention because we have this premier conference for youth and young adults that's about to take place here at Cross Church at our San Benito campus that you do not want to miss. And so today I have a very special guest, and he actually leads the entire youth and young adult department along with the Outpour Conference. So would you please help me welcome none other than Pastor J. Allen Mendoza himself. God bless you, Jay.
Hey, Pastor. Thank you so much for having me. Honored to be here and have this conversation with you.
Well, thank you, Jay. Thank you for joining me today. I know we're really busy getting ready and gearing up for Outpour.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
You know, and what I love about this conference, Jay, Outpour specifically, right, in particular, is that it's not a watered down conference.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, sometimes when you think about youth ministry or children's ministry, it's like a lesser, second-rate version of the adult. You know, and it's the quality is not there, the excellence not there, but not at Cross Church.
No,
I mean, we go all out.
That's right.
With everything that we do because we believe that every person matters, no matter their age, right? No matter where they're from or where they're at. And so Outpour is no exception. So before we get into that, Jay, why don't you share a little bit about who you are so that people get to know you, so that people meet you?
Yeah. I guess, first of all, Pastor, let me just say this. I'm honored to be part of a church that believes in the next generation and to have leaders and pastors like you that really do platform us. And you believe in the model of us using your shoulders to go above and beyond and do what God has called us to do. But like Pastor said, my name is Jay Allen, and I've been here at Cross Church for almost 5 years now. Been in full-time next-gen ministry for a little over a decade. So I know a little bit or two things about these interesting creatures called teenagers and young adults. And I absolutely love what I get to do, and I'm honored that I get to do it here under your leadership and under this house. And I'm just so grateful. And Outpour's coming up, and I'm excited about it. And man, let's talk about this thing.
Yeah. So you know, you've been here 5 years, like you said. You're married.
Yes.
Right.
Shout out to my wife Maria.
Yeah. You got
been married for about 7 years.
Yeah. There you go. And so, but you've been doing youth ministry for quite a while, and I know it's a passion of yours. It's something that you love to do, and it's something that you have also found great success in, not just fulfillment, but success in. You know, you have literally taken our youth ministry and just taken it to a whole nother level. And we have a lot of youth and young adults across all of our campuses.
Yeah,
we have a very vibrant youth and young adult ministry. And I know there's a lot of young people out there who are looking for a place to attend.
And
you
parents.
know? Yeah, and parents even. You know, parents call us all the time like, hey, do you have anything for young people?
Yeah, that's right.
You know, unfortunately, there's a lot of churches out there that are not very well equipped to deal with the challenges and answer the questions that youth have today. I mean, the questions and the challenges are greater than ever before.
No,
you know,
seriously.
with the political climate,
it's crazy.
with all that's going on in society, with cancel culture. I mean, you name it, right? And I don't want to make this a political program because it's not about that. But there's literally a war for the souls of our young people.
That's it.
And we have to be engaged. We have to confront this thing head on. We are not going to win the war, family, by hiding our head in the sand.
That's right.
And ignoring the news or the noise and act like nothing is happening and just hope and pray that Jesus comes back really soon.
Come on.
And that's been, you know, the strategy of the church in many cases. You know, we're just hoping and praying that Jesus comes back soon. And although there needs to be an anticipation for the soon return of Jesus Christ, but he also told us to occupy until he comes.
That's right.
And that word occupy is a military word. It's to occupy, to take territory, to make a stand, to stand your guard. You understand? And what he gave us to protect and to preserve, that we do that with all that we have, right?
That's right.
And so, and we've done it well, thank God, for going on almost 30 years. Cross Church has been around, believe it or not, for almost 30 years.
It's amazing.
And we've always put a focus and an emphasis, as far back as I can remember, on youth, young adults, and children.
That's right.
And so, we're happy to have you here, Jay. You've done a phenomenal job. You're a first-class leader, as far as I'm concerned, and you've raised up other leaders under you that are also making a lot of noise, causing waves, making impact throughout this valley and beyond. And I'm excited as a senior pastor, right, that I get a front row seat, if you will, to see what God is doing with this next generation. I grew up in youth ministry. Right, I was a youth pastor.
You were a youth pastor
at
yourself.
One time, and so I know firsthand. I've been in those trenches.
They say once a youth pastor, always a youth pastor.
So I'm an OG when it comes to being a youth pastor, right, to youth ministry. But I remember those days, and the hunger that these young people have. And let me just tell the parents, please do not discredit or discount your young people. Please don't count them out because they look disengaged or disinterested. They're hungry for something, for supernatural. They're hungry for that, for something supernatural. And because they don't find it in the church, they go looking for it somewhere else. They're looking for an experience. And whether they're going to find it in drugs or in sex or in promiscuity or in whatever, you understand? They're just looking for a trip. They're looking for an experience. They're looking for something that's going to fill the void. And unfortunately, the church hasn't done the best job. But fortunately, at the same time, there are churches that are emphasizing, that understand the task at hand, and that are serious about making a difference. And that's why we have what we have. So right before we get into the conference part, Jay, tell us just about the youth and young adult ministry at large, overall. What is it that we do for youth and young adults here?
Yeah. So we put a great emphasis on our next gen ministries, all the way from kids to youth to young adults. And we really believe in our mission, which is to discover, develop, and deploy. And that's exactly what we're doing with our young people. So we meet twice a month with our students, which is middle school, high school, on the first and third Wednesday of the month. And with our young adults, we meet twice a month as well. And we just found that this rhythm works for us in this season, just because it allows us to put together solid experiences. We're not just into putting events together. We want to create a spiritual experience for students to encounter God. And we want to disciple them through relationships with we have some incredible volunteers and next gen leaders at our church that really love God, that really believe in the next generation. And it's because of them that we're able to do what we do, things like services and outpour and events. And I mean, these guys are next level. And I even say this, I tell some of them, like, man, you guys have the ability and the capacity to be youth pastors at some of these other churches that I've seen, so that's kind of our DNA. And we really believe in raising up young leaders. And I'll say this, Pastor, the way I see youth ministry is not like this teenage babysitting club where we just kumbaya and give them pizza, but I really see youth ministry as a leadership factory, a place where we could develop the future of the church, which they are. And in some cases, they're the leaders of today, as well as we get them plugged in and serving on Sundays. So we're not just about getting them serving in our youth services. We want to see them engrafted and plugged into the overall life of the church. And when I see that, when our pastors see that, when our congregation sees that, man, it just brings that energy, that young life, that fresh blood into our campuses and into the ministry. And I think that's what the world needs to see. A diverse ministry, a multi-generational ministry. And we believe that. And we're excited about what God is doing through Next Gen Ministries here at Cross.
Well, you guys are doing a phenomenal job, Jay. And I'm so proud of you and your wife and the entire team. Like you said, we have a full-blown, first-class youth ministry. You understand? We don't hold back. Again, it's not a babysitting club. It's not a pizza party. This is an intentional, strategic, like you said, experience that engages youth and young adults at their level.
We even have internship programs that we have that go hand in hand with our Next Gen Ministries, which Isaiah Loya, your son, right? He's our new internship director here, and we're excited to see how God's going to use him in the ministry to really, again, continue to develop the next generation, because we're committed to that. And that's why I feel like, man, Cross Church, we do it right. You know, you talked about how there's few ministries out there that are just doing it right when it comes to next gen. And I really feel and believe that we're one of those ministries, not because we're special or in any way, but because we just understand that if we don't develop the next, there's going to be no future, no matter how great the vision is. And I love that you have a heart for young people, Pastor, and for young adults, and you make room for us and you invite us to the table. And I think that's what makes you such a great leader.
Yeah, well, thank you. I think it was Ronald Reagan that said something to the effect like, we're just one generation away from total anarchy.
Wow.
You know, and that's all it takes. You know, like you said, we ignore this generation for whatever reason, right? And by the time you know it, we've gone south, we've gone wayward. And so, you know, we have made a huge investment in our youth and our young adults.
Yeah.
You know, we believe that they are not only the present, but our future leaders. They're going to run this country one day. And I want parents
Come on.
and I want seniors to listen to me. These young people, these millennials, these Gen Z guys, these kids that we sometimes think are crazy and they're really just creative.
Wow.
They're going to run the country one day.
That's good.
And so we better do our homework and we better do our part and we better mentor them to the best of our ability, using the gospel to shape them so that they have a biblical worldview.
That's good.
I'm telling you, don't be part of the problem, be part of the solution. You can complain all you want about these young people and about all the, you know, chaos that's going on in our country and other countries, and it's all their fault. Well, it's not all their fault. I believe that they inherited some of that. You understand? Our neglect becomes their issue.
Yeah, they say what's tolerated in one generation is embraced by the next.
Yeah.
So in essence, you know, every generation has fault, Pastor, in some areas, and it's the reason why we are where we are today. So it's not good for one generation to just wipe their hands clean and say, well, they're the crazy ones. We all had a part in that.
Yeah.
But I think we also, when we flip it, we all have a part in turning things around as well.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, you know, I just want to encourage parents, because I know there are people and there are parents that are praying and that are actively looking for a church or ministry, saying, man, I need to plug into a youth ministry, a young adult ministry. I need to find a church for my family, for my children.
Yeah.
You know, because parents need help. Parents are drowning.
Yeah.
Parents are running out of solutions.
Yeah.
Our school, I'm telling you, and please hear me, and I say this very respectfully, but our government is broken. Our school system is broken. The world system is broken. There's only one system that works, and it's the kingdom of God. It always has, and it always will. And so, you know, I just want to encourage parents that if you're running out of solution, if you're losing patience, don't give up on your kids. Just change direction.
Yeah.
Get a different strategy. Don't say, you know what, these kids are too far gone. They're never going to listen. They ended up in jail. I did my best. Like you said, I'm washing my hands. And I get it. I hear the frustration from parents all the time. I see it in their eyes. I sense it. But a lot of these young people, you know, they're just buried treasure.
Yeah.
They're hidden talent. You know, they're these diamonds in the rough that are just waiting for somebody to discover them, just waiting for someone to see their value.
Yeah.
That's all they want. They just want to know that they matter to somebody, that their voice matters, that their opinions matter, that somebody believes in them.
Come on. Yep.
You know, and I'm telling you, God believes in you. And I know that your parents, maybe you're a young person watching, you're like, you know, your parents, believe it or not, they do love you and they do believe in you. They've just done their best and they're out of resources and they just maybe don't have the skills that they need to help you. But where man has failed, God will always succeed.
Come on.
And so I want to just encourage young people. It's never too late. I want to encourage parents. Don't give up on your kids. And so, you know, Jay, we've made a huge investment in every sense money-wise, effort, energy. We
Yeah.
put a lot of thought into this.
Yeah.
We meet about this on a regular basis.
That's
What
right.
are we doing for youth? What are we doing for young adults? What kind of curriculum? How are we keeping them safe?
Yep.
You know, how are we training the next generation? How are we discipling the people that God is sending us?
Yeah.
You know, this is not a country club church.
Yeah, that's
And
right.
some people might think it is because of our
We're
of
a
our
battleship,
size.
right? Not a cruise ship,
Yeah,
like you said.
we are a battleship. We're not
Yeah.
a cruise ship, you know, but some people think that because of our size and because of the reputation that some mega churches have, they just say, well, Cross Church probably is just one of these big churches that water down the gospel and sugarcoat everything. And let me tell you,
Right.
if that's you, if that's what you've heard or that's what you think, you
It's not
probably
true.
have never been to one of our
Yeah,
services,
not true.
because we're very mission minded. We're very Bible based. We're very Christ centered. And we believe that the next generation contains the potential
Come on.
that we need to solve the problems that exist in this world.
Wow.
And if we'll invest in them, and we need your help, we need you to invest.
Yes.
And I'm not just talking about financial investment. That's part of it, but we need you to get engaged. We need you to be a part. We need you to be involved in the process. Again, be part
Wow.
of the solution,
That's
not
good.
just part of the problem. And so we do have a very vibrant, life-giving youth and young adult
Yeah.
ministry across all of our campuses.
Yes.
It's not a perfect ministry.
Right.
It's not a perfect church. I'll tell
Yeah.
you that right now. We are
Yeah.
an imperfect church with imperfect people
Yeah.
serving a perfect, loving God.
That's right.
And so everybody is welcomed here at Cross Church. And so, but we do have a very, very strong emphasis on youth and young adults. And so we have this conference that we
Yes.
started doing
Yep.
years ago because we saw
I think
not
this
only
year's
the need.
14 years.
14 years
of doing
this year.
Outpour. Yeah.
So, and I want you to hear this. We not only saw the need, but we saw the value.
Wow. That's good.
And there's a difference. Sometimes you see the need, but you're like, well, it's not worth your time or your investment. But we not only saw the need 14 years ago, we saw the value in investing in our young people, and the results and the dividends
Yeah.
have been tremendous. And
That's
so
good.
we have this conference called Outpour, which is a premier,
Yeah. Youth and Young Adult Conference.
first class, state of the art, cutting edge conference filled
Yeah.
with the presence and the power of God. This is not, I'm telling you, this is not just a big smoke screen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's not an event. It's an
disco.
encounter.
I
It
mean,
really
it
is.
is. Last year, we had kids getting baptized in the
Yep.
Holy Spirit. We had kids surrendering their life to
Being
God.
delivered. I mean,
Being delivered. So, giving up their drugs, their
Yeah.
pornography, breaking
right.
up bad relationships,
Yeah.
toxic relationships, asking their parents for forgiveness,
Yeah.
surrendering their life to
That's
Christ,
revival right there, Pastor.
answering the call
Yeah.
of God to ministry,
That's right.
internship, kids getting involved here in the church, excited about the Lord.
Yeah. About church.
I'm telling you,
Like we have to kick them out.
that is
Yeah.
revival. I don't know what we think. Oh, revival is coming. Revival's here. It's knocking on
That's right.
our
Come on.
our door. We just have failed to open the door and recognize what God is doing. But these young people here are on fire for God. And so, Jay, we have this thing called Outpour. Why don't you just share a little bit about what Outpour is, and then
Yeah.
we'll go right into a video so people get to
Sure.
know more.
Yeah, so Outpour, like you said, Pastor, is our premier youth and young adult conference that we host here at Cross. But really, it's the largest youth and young adult conference in South Texas. I mean, we gather over 1,500 students every summer for 3 days, and they get, encountered by God. We have leadership tracks for pastors, which is one of our passions as well. We want to just pour into pastors and refresh them. So I've just heard so many testimonies where pastors come to Outpour ready to give up, ready to throw in the towel, and they come and they experience, and God ignites a passion in them once again. We do things like after parties, and we make it fun. And Outpour is just such a unique environment. There's just something about getting in the room where God is moving the way that he does here, seeing so many youth and young adults. I think we need to expose young people to that. And this year is going to be no different. We believe God is going to show up and he's going to show off. And the theme this year is battle ready.
Wow.
And we really felt this several months ago as kind of the church is going into this building an army model. And we just felt the same way that God wants to prepare the next generation for battle. I think the world is so loud about sin. The world is so loud about their agenda. And I think it's time for the church to rise up, and it's time for young people to rise up, and for God to prepare us for the battle ahead. And I know that this year at Outpour, that's exactly what's going to happen. So it's happening July 5th through the 7th. And so it's Wednesday through Friday. And I'm telling you guys, you do not want to miss out. It is going to be life-changing. You can register on our website. As a matter of fact, we have a group rate as well. So regular registration is $30, but if you get a group rate of 10 or more, it's $25. So you get $5 off per ticket, which is something still, right? Like it's a great deal. And let me just say this, even $30, Pastor, is like, I've been to so many other conferences that charge hundreds of dollars. And for me, I'm like, the price is not even a thing. I'm just, man, like, how could you not want to invest into your young people, your students? So again, if you're a pastor, if you're a leader, send your young people, rally them. You show up as well. We want to serve you guys, and we want to expose you to what we're doing here, but also just serve you in any way that we can.
Yeah, and we promise you they will not go back home the same. Why don't we do this right now, Jay? Why don't we show a recap video of what God did last year? And this is just a snapshot, guys, because I mean, what God did, we will never know until eternity. But this is just a quick video recap and snapshot of what God did last year at Outpour right here at Cross Church. So I want you to watch this, and we'll be right back. Hey guys, we're back, and wow, Jay, just watching that video, gives me shivers, as they say, And I do want to say this, that my wife and I have had the honor and privilege for I don't know how many years now to attend Outpour.
Yeah.
And we don't get too involved, right? Because we want it to be for the youth and young adults.
Come on, we need to bring you back. We need to bring you back.
I have preached that Outpour. But I'm telling you, when we see those young people on fire for God, it does something to us. It lights our fire. It really does. It not only takes us back to our youth ministry days, but to see young people jumping and dancing and shouting for King Jesus.
Come on.
Oh, man, it's just, and I'm telling you, it's just an amazing experience. And, this youth conference is not just for youth.
Right.
I say it's for three kinds of people, okay? It's for youth, it's for young adults, and it's for young at heart.
Come on.
So that's the 40-something-year-olds and the 50-something-year-olds and the 60-something-year-olds, right? Even though it is mainly for youth and young adults, and maybe not everybody will, get the same thing out of it. But, there's some people out there, they just need to get around the fire.
Yep. That's it.
I'm just being honest. You've been away from the fire for too long, and the adult services maybe where you attend have grown stale, or maybe you just stopped attending church altogether, and you need to get around some revival fire. You need to get around someone that'll renew your youth, if you will. And Outpour will do that. It will light your fire.
That's right. And we have some great speakers coming this year that are really revivalists and voices in our generation. And we're very strategic, Pastor, with who we bring to Outpour. We're not just looking for the latest, trend of person out there. We're really looking for voices and people who can add to what God has been doing over the years at Outpour Conference. And this year, we're excited to announce that we're bringing Eli Bonilla from Bethany Church. We have Manny Orengo from Social Dallas. We have Pastor Vlad Savchuk from Hungry Gen. Myself, Isaiah, and man, we have some incredible people that are coming. We have Aaron Cole that is also going to be speaking, and we're just fired up. Honestly, we're fired up about what God is going to do, and it's going to be amazing. And you want to get into the room. I'm telling you, just get in the room. Like Pastor said, there's going to be a fire that's going to be lit, and you want to be there because it's going to do something in your spirit.
Yeah, and we have churches that literally rent buses that'll bring 50 to 100 youth, and I'm not talking about from the valley, obviously, because they're coming from Dallas, they're coming from El Paso, from Eagle Pass, from just different places, San Antonio, and so we don't want anybody to be left out, including people from the valley. So if you're watching from the valley, I know some of you have like, well, we'll just go if we. I'm telling you, you're making a mistake.
No, you need to register.
By waiting.
Like, tickets are selling out fast.
Yeah, you're making a mistake by waiting, and you're making a mistake by discrediting what God is doing next door.
Wow.